Oh, fuck! Hi there, everyone. It's me, the Don Taku, and today has been a great day, great month, because I have just watched in theaters Weathering with You. And now I have finally seen the long-awaited claimed movie, and my friends have been bashing me on because they went to see it first day. This is like the 19th right now, so it's like the 4th day showing. So I'm just like, I'm sorry, I only had time today, but I finally watched it, and oh, my heart, man, my heart and my mind, my feels is all messed up right now. But I'm here today to talk about Weathering with You. We'll review it in the way I usually do movie reviews. I'll do spoiler stuff, or no, not spoiler stuff. Well, that's at the end. We'll do non-spoiler stuff and then spoilers at the end. So that's spoiler stuff you can talk about over here in the time frame. Put it in there, please, feature me. But anyways, overall, this movie was pretty good. Now, a lot of people are going to be comparing it to Your Name in many aspects, considering it's done by Makoto Shinkai and stuff. And of course, I love myself some Your Name, right? But these movies are, while in aspects are somewhat similar, they're kind of different in some ways. Like, I'll explain that later, but you know, so of course, with what happened with Your Name was about, like, they had some kind of sci-fi elements and stuff incorporated into this. Of course, in this movie, if you've seen the trailers, there are aspects like that. Like, of course, our main character, Hina, who can apparently is the sunshine girl and can apparently make it sunny whenever she wants. She can cancel out the rain and stuff. So, like, that plays in a lot of interesting stuff in the movie, which I really found interesting. I was like, going into this movie, because if you've seen Your Name, then, you know, there's like some twists that happen, so I was expecting some twists and stuff in here, and I was expecting to cry just a bit and to be heartbroken and shit, but surprisingly, well, I did have some moments where I was very heartbroken and it feels heavy, but surprisingly in this movie, I did not cry. Which you're not supposed to, it's not bad if you don't cry, it's just that in Your Name, I did cry in the movie. This one, I didn't cry, however, I felt a lot more, I don't know, I felt like after my first experience, I really connected a lot with this movie more than with Your Name. We'll get onto that a little bit. But the characters and the plot and the music of this movie, this is honestly so great. If you've seen Your Name, you'll probably love this movie because it plays a lot of similar aspects. I mean, visually also, the characters kind of look like, you know, the people from Your Name and stuff. So, and they have the music, they have Radwimps from the same people that did Your Name, they also got them back in this movie too. It just, everything is like so damn good looking and stuff. And, you know, like, man, dude, from Your Name and this, like, it's just like going hand in hand and stuff. And it's just honestly really great. I like, you know, Makoto Shinkai doing all these movies and stuff. Really good. So, the characters are very different, considering we're not switching bodies like in Your Name this time. This time we're dealing with some interesting characters with some interesting backgrounds. I won't say too much about them in case of spoiler reasons. However, the chemistry between Hina and Hodaka are really, really good, honestly. I feel a lot more, whatchamacallit, I feel a lot more, I like them a little bit more than Taki and Mitsuha from Your Name. And I'm just like, you know, overall the cast in this movie are really great. Like, all the supporting characters and the main cast. And they're just like, there's something about it. I can't put a word to describe it, how I'm feeling right now, but I just really synergized and related them with a lot more. Whereas, well, Your Name's not bad in their cast, but Your Name and its cast, the supporting characters and the main characters, were really like, you know, they felt like a, you know, like a normal, really caring and loving family. Whereas in this one, and you're in Weathering with You, the characters have like somewhat similar backgrounds and past histories and stuff. That's why they sort of like, you know, try to help out each other and stick around with each other, and you know, eventually become really good friends and somewhat of a family with each other. And I really like that aspect a bit, because it kind of reminds me of something else just a bit. The music, of course, is done by Radwimps. However, I don't know. I don't know if it's like me or not, but like, to describe a song to feel like aquatic because it's always raining and stuff, like, The music in here, of course, is done by Brad Williams, but it feels just like more tuned for this movie because it's like, I don't know, always raining and stuff. It's just like the soundtrack, just like when I hear it, I just think of water and rain and stuff. And of course, that's the whole premise of the movie because it's always raining and stuff like that in this movie. Visually, of course, we don't have to talk about visuals. This movie is great. It just looks damn good. And of course, once again, I said the character and the arts, the design and stuff look just like, you know, from Your Name and stuff. Of course, the same person. And I can't say that, it's a spoiler thing. But the story, so of course the story, I can't say too much about the story except what's seen in trailers. So of course you have our main character, Hodaka, who meets Hina, and together they discover that she's like this sunshine girl that can, you know, whatchamacallit, make it shine and sunny whenever it's raining at command. And because of this, as things progress and stuff, and they kind of have used that, that power to do a lot of things in the movie, which eventually turns out to be super big and super like heart pulling and stuff because things happen. And you know, changing the weather on command, of course there's always going to be consequences. That they kind of hint at the trailer just a bit because she has some kind of like somewhat godly power to change the weather and stuff, and of course there's always consequences like that. So yeah, honestly, this one's a lot more straightforward than Your Name, the story, considering in Your Name they're always jumping bodies and stuff and you're always seeing the perspective of each character in the other person's body and vice versa. Whereas this one, the characters are always together, like they meet up and you know, they're not like jumping bodies and they're always like doing their own thing. They're always together and you're like always going off with them and stuff and having a lot of fun and everything. And this movie, I don't know how to say this, but like this movie just like, it was more funnier, I think. I don't know why. It's like the cast and everything, but all the jokes and funny moments in this movie really hit like all the time. In Your Name, there are a lot of questionable funny moments, you know, not like most of the time, but like, you know, there's always like in Your Name there's a repeated scene where when Taki's in Mitsuha's body, he always has to do the thing. And that's like, you know, that's funny the first time, but when you keep doing it, it's kind of like meh. But like in here, there are a lot of funny jokes and things that happen, and they may do it sometimes over again, but it really hits. And that's mostly because of all the supporting characters. The supporting characters are really good in this movie. I really feel like that. I could talk about them equally, I guess. So Hodaka and Hina. So Taki and Mitsuha, of course. Well, they're, you know, they're interesting enough. Hodaka I was really interested about because of all the stuff that is shown about him in the trailers. So I'm pretty sure it's probably in the trailers. But I mean, he's a runaway. So he's ran away from home, living in Tokyo, trying to live on his own and stuff. And I found that really interesting. You know, they don't really delve too much into like what his like family life is like, or you know, essentially like what kind of specific details he's, you know, run away from home to go to Tokyo or whatever. Why, but like it just is. I won't explain too much about it. Hina is on somewhat of a similar note. I won't say like she's a runaway, she lives in Tokyo, but she has some interesting things to her that really connect Hodaka and her, Hina, together. And their chemistry, I just really like the chemistry. I don't know if it's me, but like, so in Your Name, doing comparisons to Your Name, sorry again, but like, you know, in Your Name, cause like the only communication between Taki and Mitsuha is when they switch bodies and they have to like text each other and stuff. They don't really physically meet each other at all, but they're just like, you know, experiencing their lives in their own bodies and stuff. Whereas this one, you know, they're always like Hina and Hodaka are together. They always meet up every day and do a lot of things and stuff, and I just really love that stuff. And you know, if I can't say exactly plot stuff because that would be like, I don't want to spoil anything for the movie. But yeah, they interact a lot more in this movie because they're always together and physically next to each other, not jumping bodies and stuff. And it just really like sells it, you know, or really like, you know, easy to follow, I guess. The supporting characters, so there's a lot of supporting characters. I'd say only like 3 about. So there's not Hodaka, Hina's younger brother, my bad, I was gonna say, who is absolutely freaking funny as hell. So his name's Nagi. However, he's referred to as Senpai in this movie, and he's just great, honestly. He's like, I don't want to say insulting anything, but like he's essentially the better version of Mitsuha's brother from Your Name. Because no offense, I forgot her name, but Mitsuha's sister in Your Name kind of doesn't really do too much in the plot. I think this one, Nagi, Hina's younger brother. Sorry, I'm lost for words. Does so many things in this movie, and it really interacts a lot with Hodoka and Hina, and he's a lot more involved in the film than the previous Your Name character. So I really like their character. I like the younger brother, and I'm just like, dude, this guy is like funny, and he might be kind of like, you know, just a bit in some aspects. I don't want to spoil anything, but he's really like in there, and he really helps out a lot, and he's really funny, so that's pretty cool. The other two side characters are like these adults that you see taking Hodoka, so that's you know, some interesting stuff there. It's like a little awkward like thing with their relationship, like I forget their names, but yeah, Natsumi and Keisuke, so these are the older figures that take him in and stuff, and there's some awkward thing with them in the beginning of the film, but of course we find out the truth between their relationship and stuff, and it's kind of just like, oh, what did you think what did you think we were, you know, sort of thing. But they're still cool, like, you know, as the older adults in this movie, they really feel relatable, especially Natsumi, because she's just like graduated high school. I think she graduated high school, but she's just like always job hunting and stuff, and like trying to, you know, I relate a little bit more because I'm on that sort of part of adultness and stuff now. And Keisuke is just basically like the old dude that sort of sees himself in Hodoka and kind of like helped him out a lot, and he's really like the father figure-esque sort of thing in this movie, so he's pretty cool. Yeah, the cast is just so good. Now, I say cast, but I'm not gonna say exactly word from word, but there are certain characters from previous movies, I won't say which one, but they make cameos or appearances in this movie. I won't say who, just because watch the movie, but some people make appearances. Am I pointing to it? Okay, yeah, it's right here. So that was honestly the most freaking awesomest part ever, and honestly it's kind of cool and rare because I don't know if anyone's ever done that before in movie stuff. Now, I kind of expected it to happen because the setting is in Tokyo, just like a certain other movie. But to see the characters and appearances from that movie in this movie, I'm just like, wow, he's doing his own like movie verse and stuff. And you know, it kind of like canonizes all the stuff that happens in that movie to this movie, which is just a little sweet touch, you know. And you know, things happen, but it's just really cool. And you know, just like they don't like give them like a whole scene of a moment together, but like, you know, you just see them, and it's just like, oh hey, you know, that's cool. And interestingly enough, some people in my movie theater didn't watch Your Name, and I'm just like, I'm just sorry, I can't blame them, they've never seen Your Name. But then the whole theater flipped out when they appeared on the screen. Anyways, so overall, let me talk about it. So back to the movie in a general sense. This movie, I don't know. So like, of course I'd rate this super high. Like, it's very good, it's great, and there's just something about it that I can't like really describe with words because I'm bad at explaining feelings and words and stuff. But I just really feel connected and really related to this movie a lot more than Your Name, just because of some sort of like aspectual things. But I still think that they're both good movies. They're kind of different movies in a sense, but they still have like, you know, sort of similarities and stuff. And the ending, I gotta say, the ending was really satisfying. The end of this freaking film was just like, oh man, like I'll explain that in spoiler section below, but like the ending really hit hard, and I really must say that I enjoyed the ending, and I really like how it turned out. And so watch the movie and then check out spoilers for that. But yeah, so also the songs and the soundtrack of this movie is just really damn good. I can't really say which one's better, Your Name or this one. They have different, there are some songs in this movie that I liked a lot more than others, but overall they played a lot of soundtrack and stuff in here, and they just really hit hard. It hit hard, especially in towards the final part of the movie. And yeah, I'm sorry about that. I just ate because I definitely had popcorn during the theater. Anyways, I think that's it for this movie. Honestly, I think I'll go into spoilers now. So anyways, guys, thank you guys for watching this part for the non-spoiler talk of Weathering with You. This is a really good movie, and like I said, if you like Your Name, you'll definitely like this one. And honestly, like, Makoto Shinkai is on a roll with these films. No wonder this is freaking Japan's 2019 movie of the year and stuff. I would really love to see this get a award in the Crunchyroll thing, but then we didn't have a film category this year, I guess, who knows. But yeah, this movie is so good. I would watch it a second time, I'll be honest. And you know, even the dub kind of looks not too bad in my opinion from the trailer. I would watch this the second time, maybe dub, maybe third time sub, but I mean, actually, I've never watched a movie more than 3 times in theaters, but you know, I would want to watch this a second time. I need to get like my eyeballs in, because like, this was more like of a first experience thing, so I kind of have to take everything in for the first time and really pay attention to it. The second one, I can finally just like, you know, chill, I know what's gonna happen, and just sort of appreciate the film. I don't know if that's the same for you guys. Leave in the comments below if that's the same for you. But yeah, I would love to watch this a second time, and honestly, I will be buying its Blu-ray counterpart when it comes out, when the time happens. And honestly, like, I would really, like, you know, Makoto Shinkai is doing something with his movies, and he's doing this whole connected verse thing, and it's just like, I really want to see his next movie, because like, if, you know, aspects of this movie transcend into his next movie that he does and whatnot, then it's just gonna be like, you know, really like, really sorted out universe, I guess, if I had to call it something. But yeah, it's really cool and interesting. So Weathering with You, honestly awesome. And unfortunately, I didn't cry in the movie, but I was really glad and happy, and really feels broken and stuff in this movie. It was super great, super great. So anyways, guys, thank you for watching. Leave a like and comment if you guys enjoyed, and you know, let me know your thoughts about the movie in the video. I'm sorry. Let me know about your thoughts in the comments below about what you guys thought about the movie, and try not to spoil anything in the thing. Just put like a spoiler tag if you mention some stuff. But anyways, I'm gonna be doing spoilers in a bit, so if you haven't seen the movie yet, then click off and watch the movie, and then come back, and then we can talk about all the great spoilers in this movie. So see y'all later. Take care, guys. How are you doing, everyone? It's me. We're back with spoiler talk for Weathering with You. Now, I don't know where to begin, guys. I honestly don't know where to begin. There's so many good things in this movie. Okay, forget it. We're going with the freaking Your Name cameos. Oh my goodness. That was honestly surprising. I didn't think that he would do that at all. Like, no, like, I've never seen an anime movie have, like, you know, sequels or anything like that, and then you would reference characters from that anime. Maybe Pokemon movies might do that because of how long Pokemon takes. But with Weathering with You, I saw it first. I'm just like, in like these characters in the elevator, and I'm just like, wait a minute, that's freaking Tessie and Saya from Your Name. And then I'm just like, okay, you know, that's cool. That's a Your Name reference. If they do any more than that, then that's totally fine. But no, they blatantly show Taki walk up and hand them watermelons and talk with the characters. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, that was so cool. And the whole theater flipped, because everyone loves Your Name, and everyone, you know, this is just so freaking awesome. And I was very surprised, because like, he's there, he's like there talking with these kids, so it's like a whole continued universe or whatever. And I'm just like, okay, now you've gotten me, guys. This is some like nostalgia shit going on here. But it was really cool. Taki didn't have much of a big part in this movie. He just, like, you know, kind of appeared because of the job that Horaka and Hina do, as being able to clear the sky of rain and stuff. And I was like, you know what, that's pretty cool. It's like a little cameo, essentially. And unfortunately, there are some things in there that I didn't notice, maybe because my freaking friend who didn't realize it was Taki at the beginning, and I had to like look away and tell him like, yeah, dude, it's the guy from Your Name, and I might have missed the subtitle. And I'm just like, oh man, come on, dude, it's just like not that hard. The art style's the same, and he looks pretty the same. And then they showed Mitsuha, so Mitsuha was there also. They showed her like working in a mall, like selling jewelry and stuff. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, dude, the setup is so damn good, man. It's just like, they show them, but they don't like make a whole fuss about them in the scene and stuff. They're just like there, and just like, it's just so natural, honestly. And now with the whole your name stuff, right? That sort of stuff. So I'm assuming, of course, it's after your name because the end of your name. Spoilers for your name. If you haven't seen your name, watch your name and then watch this movie. Your name's out already. It's been like 2012, I think. I don't remember how long it's been since your name. I'm sorry, guys. But yeah, so of course, at the end of your name, they meet up at the end, right? However, because of things that happen in this movie, you know, the scenery changes a lot, so I'm assuming this is like, you know, of course after your name. But we don't see Taki and Mitsuha sort of together in a sense, which is a shame. But I mean, it's just good to see them together, or not see them together, see them in the movie period. Like, hey guys, these were the guys from the last movie who were the protagonists, and now they're here and they're older and, you know, they're just living life and, you know, they still exist. You know, that's pretty cool. And yeah, that's the end of your name cameos, so that's about it. Now, I can finally talk about everything else. So, what else to talk about with spoilers from, to quote my friends, your name, but with a gun. That's literally a quote from my friend's friend, and I thought it was kind of like low-key. You could say that, you know, it's kind of true, but it's kind of like, but it's hella funny in this sense. So yeah, there's a lot of aspects in this movie that I really, really like. They bring in some kind of, like, it's, I said that in the non-spoiler stuff, but it feels a lot relatable because of the aspects that they put in, like, you know, guns, and like there's like this one section in the movie where they're like talking about like this gang that they captured or whatever, and you know, that these weapons and guns and stuff like that, you know, gun violence and whatever. And I'm just like, okay, this looks like, you know, I could relate to that just a bit because of, you know, society today and the times now. And then the whole ending scene where, of course, the ending is what really hit me hard because, so Hina, who is the Sunshine Girl, is apparently like, well, she became like a weather maiden, and of course weather maidens are some sort of figures back in history that they have had a long time ago to control the weather and offer themselves up as human sacrifices to keep the weather calm and controlled. And that was her role in this whole movie. And the fact that she sacrificed herself to save the whole, to essentially stop the whole weather and control it and stuff, was really like, you know, it hits today because of like, you know, climate stuff going on and the discussion and whatever. And I'm just like, oh damn, okay, that's off like off the side, but you know, it kind of, you make it think words. It makes you think about it just a bit. You know, that's what went through my head just a bit when I watched it. And then, you know, so Hina disappearing to make the whole rain stop. Like the rain looked so bad. Like I never thought about the thing. Like I never thought about it. Like what if it continued raining and stuff? It's never sunny. But basically, like, you know, all of Tokyo got flooded with water and stuff. And I'm just like, damn, like the weather is really hitting hard here. And you know, that's because Hina's not doing her sunshine thing. And you know, towards the like the middle to the end part of the movie, the transition, Hina essentially disappears, and I don't say sacrifice herself, but she disappears essentially to clear the weather after the whole like long storm and water and rain and all that stuff and snow. And then it was just really sad like that, you know, that at that point, because it's like they had to sacrifice a person to sort of save the climate and the weather and everything. And then that's, of course, you know, when the dilemma hits where freaking Hina and Hodaka are like, you know, they really care about each other and stuff, and like they want to be together and they really like each other. And then, you know, she disappears, and then Hodaka has to go save her ass. Well, not, I don't want to say it as a rude way, but she has to go freaking save her up in the sky somewhere and like go be a hero and stuff. And that's the moment where essentially I really, really love the film. So essentially Hodaka was able to go to where Hina is in the skies and whatever and rescue her. However, in doing so, rescuing Hina and not having her sacrifice herself would of course bring back the weather, the rain, and just like the harshness of it. So honestly, I've had this similar, so like there's a game, I don't want to say exactly which game in case people don't want to get spoiled by it, but there's a video game that had something of a similar choice like this, where you have to sacrifice your beloved person, or like, you know, it's either her or like the world and etc and stuff, right? And I really hit hard because like, you know, the choice like that is like very hard to do. It's like, you know, if you save Hina, then the rain will come back and shit happens, right? However, if you let Hina be in the sky and just leave her, then the weather is controlled and normal, right? But no, my boy Hodaka saves her ass, and I was like, you know what? I don't care about the weather. I don't care if it rains or if the weather's crazy. I just want to be with you. So I respect that, you know? It's just like, it's the world or your waifu, you know, sort of thing. So he saves her, and essentially, you know, the rain keeps happening. You know, the Sunshine Girl's not there to stop the rain and cancel it. So it rains consecutively and stuff. And after 3 years, they do a 3-year time skip at the end. And then the whole Tokyo's flooded. And I'm just like, whoa, hot damn. You know, that's not technically impossible in our time, you know? Well, I'm just like, damn, that really hit hard. So because of the crazy rain and stuff, freaking majority of Tokyo got flooded. So now they're like adjusting with freaking like, you know, boats and stuff like that. And that whole like universe just really feels like, you know, it could happen to us. And I feel like really think that, you know, even Hodaka's decision to save Hina, or else, you know, this would have been prevented. I still felt like, you know, to sacrifice a person or someone you care about for, you know, just the weather and the climate and the world and whatever, you know, in that scenario, I think I would agree with Hodaka. And like, you know, what he did was selfish to an extent, but, you know, I won't like, I won't say that he wasn't wrong in his choice. You know, just because you're correct doesn't mean you're right, to quote a certain someone from anime. So yeah, you know, I really connected with Hodaka for making that decision, and just seeing the result of what happened because of that decision. You know, saving Hina essentially flooded Tokyo. Maybe like not like people died, but like in 3 years due time because of constant rain and stuff, freaking Tokyo got flooded, and now a majority of the city is like underwater and sunk and stuff. And that's just like, you know, a potential thing that could happen to us in the future. And I'm just really hit and you know, really related to that a lot. And I'm just like, wow, you know, it doesn't seem too bad considering that there's a happy ending at the end, but like, you know, it just seems so like relatable and close to home, you know, because of things going on today and stuff. And that's what really made me like this movie a lot, because like you have some realistic shit going on aside from the Weather Maiden, Sunshine Girl stuff. And that's another funny thing. So like, actually not funny thing, that's the one I want to talk about that I really liked about this movie. So our characters Hina and Hodaka, right? They have interesting backgrounds. They're not exactly like Taki and Mitsuha from Your Name. They are younger. I think they're like 16 and 15 or whatever. And so then, you know, their backgrounds are kind of similar. So I say this like as a Persona 5 kind of guy, but like essentially Hina and Hodaka have somewhat similar backgrounds where they're like on their own and stuff. I wouldn't say runaways because Hodaka's runaway, but they're kind of fending for themselves. And because of that, you know, they kind of meet each other and kind of see each other in themselves and kind of help out each other and become great friends, and even more become like a family to an extent. And I really like that because of, I've seen it somewhere before, but it's still just kind of like a thing because you can see these special relationships form from people just because you have common background and stuff like that. So yeah, Hodaka running away from his house or his family. I think he lived in the countryside, at least that's my assumption from it, because it's suffocating and stuff. We don't really get like an in-depth thing of what happened to him, like his parents weren't abusing him or whatever, or like his parents were around. We don't get any explanation. He just said that his, you know, living at my old home with my parents and family was suffocating. And when he moved to Tokyo and met Hina and Nagi and started, you know, hanging with them, and even Keisuke and Natsumi, he started like, oh, well, I don't feel like it's suffocating here anymore. I feel really happy. And, you know, I feel like I had a good meal for the once in my lifetime when he had a freaking McDonald's from Hina, or when he like hanged out together with Natsumi and Keisuke and stuff. And it was like, you know, he's really bonding and forming a family somewhat kind of thing there. And that's what, you know, leads all of them to help out Hodaka in the end to try and find Hina. Like Keisuke, oh man, Keisuke was just like, you know, I see myself in you a little bit. And he took him in, gave him a job, even though it's like $30, I don't know, a day or whatever. And then, you know, he's just taking him in. He gave him food, shelter, and a job, essentially. And in the end of the movie, when he's trying to stop him from seeing Hina because, you know, he's just trying to make him try to face reality. Like, you know, Hina's gone. There's not like all this like Sunshine Girl, supernatural shit's not happening. Like, you're just imagining it. But no, he actually helps him out. And like, you know, freaking attacks the police just to help him. And I'm just like, dude, oh my boy. And then even Nagi comes in. Nagi, freaking Hina's little brother, is so damn funny. Like in the beginning, you see him on the freaking bus, like talking to different girls that get on and get off, and from his school or whatever. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, this kid is a freaking playboy. And then, you know, over time, you just see him doing some stupid shit. And I'm just like, well, he's not stupid, but like, you know, he's very confident for what he is. But I mean, I find that pretty funny because he essentially helps out Hodoka in terms of his relationship stuff, and then that earns him the respect and title of senpai in Hodoka's eyes, because he's like, yo, so you like my sister, right? And then, you know, you have to be clear and honest with yourself at the beginning, and then towards the end you can totally be vague and whatever, because he's freaking, you know, talking to multiple girls and shit like that, this freaking playboy. But it's so funny, and you know, him and interacting with Hodoka is really great. I really like all of Hina and Nagi, and just like Hina, Nagi, and Hodoka, the trio. I was about to say triplets. The trio is just so damn good. I love this, like, this group they have and their chemistry. So it's just honestly funny because every single time in the movie that he refers to him as senpai, everyone in the theater laughs, and I honestly laugh a bit too, because he just has so much respect for this young elementary, maybe middle school kid who freaking, like, you know, talks to multiple girls and is basically a playboy. And the freaking moment in the police station when he calls his ex-girlfriend and his other current girlfriend to, like, just talk and stuff, he freaking devises a plan to have the ex-girlfriend dress up as him and then escape the police station. I'm just like, what the fuck? How old is this kid? This guy's awesome in some parts, not all the parts, but he freaking escapes the police station with some diabolical plan and freaking, you know, thing. Like, he's pretty good, you know, compared to, I don't want to say insults or anything to the little sister in your name for Mitsuha, but this guy is freaking pretty good. He's a pretty smart genius, evil genius guy. Who else? Natsumi. So Natsumi, of course, her kind of role in this was that, like, she's essentially, like, you know, always job hunting and stuff, and, like, sort of, you know, fresh out of college or high school or whatever, and just looking for work and stuff. And she supports Hodoka and stuff. At first, there's, like, the awkward thing between her and Hodoka, where Hodoka's just, like, staring at certain parts of her and stuff. And then, you know, there's the whole thing with the vagueness of her relationship with Keisuke. But it's essentially uncle and niece, or I think, is it uncle and niece? Yeah, uncle and niece, I'm pretty sure. And they're just like, aha, what did you think we are? Sort of thing. I thought it was just kind of, yeah. But I mean, no, honestly, at first, I didn't think nothing of it. They're just like, yeah, there's, like, nothing going on between these two. They're just playing it for, like, some kind of funny moment later towards the end. So, I gotta say, the freaking genius of this movie, and Hodoka and Hina and Nagi, to essentially monetize her ability to make it sunny whenever they want, I thought that was pretty, like, somewhat realistic and kind of genius, because imagine you find out that your friend has the power to, like, make it sunny whenever she wants, and I'm just like, dude, we can make money off this. So they make a website, which, hot damn, freaking some designer shit there, you know, and essentially they get requests from people to, like, make it sunny whenever in certain parts of Tokyo or whatever, like a wedding or a sports festival thing, or like a flea market thing, or Comic-Con. Oh my gosh, that was so funny. They made a Comic-Con thing, reference thing, and they had these cosplayers like standing around doing poses and stuff, and then we see, like, Konosuba characters in the background, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, that's, I don't know if, like, they're related or they could do that, but, like, oh hey, I saw Aqua in this movie, that was hella funny, and just a little, like, nod for other anime fans and stuff. So, you know, wedding days and stuff, like, this is the genius plan to make money, and they get paid a lot of money for this. So I thought it was really cool, this aspect of it, and just, like, a really relatable sort of, like, you know, monopolization of, like, let's use our power to make it sunny, to, you know, make money and have people offer us requests to make it sunny on certain days and whatever. However, this is the part, of course, that makes Hina more, like, you know, the more she uses her power, the more likely she's gonna, like, vanish into whatever, or, you know, sacrificing herself and her body and stuff. What else in this movie? Interesting enough, so This is like a small thing, but like the McDonald's sign, usually in anime stuff, they always have it as a WcDonald's, so not as an M but a W, but they had it as actually showing McDonald's. I was like, oh hey, that's a first, I guess. I guess they can just legit use McDonald's in there, but that's kind of funny. The gun, the gun, so I was so damn like thing about this gun because of the trailer. In the trailer, they always had the freaking gunshot and the sound of the gunshot in the trailer, and I'm just like, what is up with this gun in this movie? Is someone gonna get a shot? It's like, is the waifu gonna get shot? Is the guy gonna get shot? And it's like, who the hell's gonna get shot in this movie? And it's not like too much of a thing. Essentially, like in the beginning, I mentioned that this gang got caught and they confiscated a bunch of weapons from them. Essentially, Hodoka finds this stray weapon in a bag and like a garbage thing, and he kind of keeps it for himself for protection while he's in Tokyo because he's alone and stuff. However, he kind of fires it a bunch of times in the movie. And the first time he uses it, he's trying to protect Hina, who's like going into this like whatchamacallit, like, you know, adult service sort of thing. So it's, oh man, this is more aspects about like, you know, Hina and Hodoka that I really like. So, you know, he almost shot a guy, but like luckily he's like aiming like, you know, away. He's not trying to kill anyone. He's just trying to like protect himself and stuff. So the gun gets fired about twice. No, actually, maybe twice or three times. But like the first time, that was pretty dope. I was like, oh dude, like you really pulling a gun on someone. He might not know it's fake or if it's real or not, but like that's the first time he fired the gun and everyone was just stunned because this kid just pulled the gun out and shit and just like tried to shoot it. And then the second time, actually no, this is 2 times he shot in the gun. And then when he's pulling the gun and the police and stuff, just like leave me alone. I just want to see Hina. And I'm just like, oh my god, the whole theater was freaking out at that point because I'm just like, yo bro, don't shoot anyone. I understand what you want to do. You gotta do what you gotta do, but don't kill anyone. Don't shoot anyone. And he just throws the gun and runs, essentially. And then that's when Keisuke freaking knocks the police over, and even Navi, who comes up after escaping the police in his freaking girl disguise, comes to help him out. He tackles the police and gives Hodoka a chance to escape, which was like badass. And even Natsumi, oh my god, I forgot about Natsumi freaking like going on the bike and saving him and just driving him all the way to the thing. That was pretty cool. Like, see, all the supporting cast had some kind of major thing to do with this movie, and it was just like really cool, and I just really liked all of them. It was just great. So yeah, man. Okay, so going more in depth to backgrounds of Hodoka and Hina. So of course, they see each other really common and stuff. They have a common background sort of style because of you know, things. And essentially, so Hina, her mom passed away about like a year ago or something like that. And after that, it's just been her taking care of her little brother, which that, you know, she's like 16, so she fakes up her ID, her age and stuff to get employment because you need an ID and you have to be 18 or something like that to get a job or whatever. So that's why, you know, you see her working multiple jobs at like McDonald's, and then you see her trying to do this adult service thing and stuff. She's trying to make money just to support her family, and I'm just like, damn, that hits hard. And you know, just a bit, because they don't want to get separated, you know. And then Hodoka, you know, trying to freaking Yahoo answer his way out of everything in this damn movie. So damn funny. He tries to, like, when he gets to Tokyo, he tries to Yahoo answers like, so how does a 16-year-old get a job without an ID? Anyone know on Yahoo? And I'm just like, you don't say this, you don't ask this shit online. And then his other one was like, what's a good gift to give an 18-year-old girl? And I'm just like, dude, you don't ask this stuff on Yahoo Answer. So yeah, you know, he's trying to find work. He's run away from whatchamacallit, home, and he's just trying to actually live in Tokyo and stuff and do something. That's where Keisuke comes in to take him in. And I thought, you know, it's really cool because these people who are trying to live off for themselves and stuff and trying to like do the best they can in what they're given and stuff. And I'm just like, yeah, I see you guys working hard and trying to, you know, continue to fight and live and all stuff while, you know, continuing your lives and stuff. I was like, you know, I like these characters. They're like really hardworking and you know, doing their best with what they got whenever life hits them hard or whatever. So you know, in your name, I don't want to keep saying your name and stuff, I'm comparing the two, but like they're really close. You know, they kind of not like in that situation, I guess, but it's whatever. So what else to say about this movie? I got nothing else to say about the movie. I really don't. This is a really straightforward movie, to be honest. It's not as complicated as Your Name, where you freaking time travel 6 months in the past or 6 months in the future or whatever. That's time travel shit. That's complicated. This one, in history, there were like weather maidens who would control the weather and offer themselves up as sacrifices and stuff. In this case, Hina has become a maiden and does her job to sort of keep the weather in control, and as a result ends up sacrificing himself. And the moment when Hodoka has to save Hina and brings her back, and that was just honestly really good. Just like, I don't care about the weather if it's crazy and stuff. I think I said this already before. Yeah, that was just really good, man. And them falling off the sky. I was looking at the album soundtrack and I was wondering why the characters were like, look like they're falling from the sky. I was like, oh, that's why. And so yeah, they come back, and the epilogue. I guess we can talk about the epilogue. Yeah. So the epilogue, freaking Tokyo is all freaking sunk underwater. Hodoka was put on probation for 3 years after he graduated. He was free from that, and essentially after he graduated back home in this countryside thing, he went back to Tokyo, and Tokyo looks a whole lot different, but still looks livable to an extent. Even though, yeah, it looks like 3 years of consecutive rain, or 3 years of just like harsh weather conditions led to Tokyo being freaking sunk underwater and stuff. Apparently that's how it was supposed to be back in history. That's what they said in the movie, like one of the people who got moved out of their house because it freaking got sunk by water and stuff. Is like, yeah, this is how it's normally supposed to be. 100 years or hundreds of years of humans doing blah 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 has led to that, and now it's just gone back to the way it was. So then hints of climate change and stuff like that in the movie kind of like really relate to me and just like the time I'm in now and stuff. And the fact, so then Hodoka comes back to Tokyo to see see Hina, so Hina's not dead, and Nagi's all okay and stuff. And when they see Hina, it was all good, and they have a great meeting, but once again, and there's no kiss in this movie, nothing like that. Just like Your Name, no any of that stuff. But I mean, it's whatever. But interesting enough, I think this movie feels more of a romance film than Your Name does. Yes, Your Name kind of develops the romance towards the later part of the movie. However, it's mostly about the sci-fi thing with the comet and the switching of the bodies and stuff. Like, why is that a thing? But a romance develops out of it, and it's just like, okay, that's cool. It makes sense. In this one, boy meets girl, and then essentially throughout the whole film they do a lot of things, and like, they say it in the movie, like, Hodoka, do you like my sister? And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm turning red. And I'm like, oh, is this what love is? And I was like, oh, maybe I do then. And, it's obvious that he likes her. We don't actually get to hear what Hina thinks about Hodoka, but I mean, that's all for superstition. And that's for the third movie in Makoto Shinkai's verse, whatever he calls it. But, yeah, so, Hina and Hodoka, I love this pair. I think I might, I don't know if I want to say I love it more than Taki and Mitsuha, but they're still pretty good. And them reuniting in the end was really cool. And the fact that Hodoka chose the waifu, not to like say anything, but like, chose the waifu over the weather and the world, and the result of that really hits in the end. Like, this movie had an actual, like, the main character and his choice had a physical consequence to an extent. However, it might not be, because, Keisuke after that is just like, oh, because we rescued Hina, and then we couldn't, make it sunny anymore, the weather's out of control, now it ended up like this, Tokyo ended up like this. However, they kind of, like, brush it off and just like, are you crazy, man? No, it's not your fault, dude. Like, all this supernatural stuff, it's totally not your fault. Like, the world's just always been crazy, and this is the result of what happens, as if it is. And I'm just like, I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty sure the supernatural powers and the weather maiden and all that stuff that happened, and because of that, things happen like this, and it's kind of in the air of stuff. But I just still really like the ending of this, and the consequence that came out of Hodoka saving Hina, I still think it was worth. It just, over time, people, like, the world got flooded and stuff. I don't think anyone died from the sound of it, but like, it's just the consequences to saving one person who's important to you. Is it one person or the world? That's a big, kind of like thought-provoking question and stuff. And honestly, that's it for this movie. This movie was really good. I would love to see it a second time. You know, even maybe in dub. I've heard the dub soundtrack and it just sounds really good. I'm just really like, my biggest thing that I really want to know next is Makoto Shinkai's next movie, because this is the first time I've ever seen in an anime movie where, like, you know, it's not a sequel or anything, but like they brought back like this. So they established the Your Name verse, shit happened in there, and essentially they bring this next movie, Weathering With You, affects that verse. So Taki and Mitsu are there. Hopefully they didn't die in some kind of unforeseen thing. But essentially the world they live in now, Tokyo, has been submerged underwater because of the weather and stuff. So if Makoto Shinkai makes a third movie and then the cast is in Tokyo or something like that, and we see it's flooded, I'm just gonna be like, oh hey, so it's still, you know, the events from Weathering With You still transpired and are continuing here and affecting the whole universe to an extent, right? Like, it's a first that I've ever seen something like this, but it's really interesting. And, you know, maybe in the third movie we can see Taki and Mitsuha with a kid or something like that, or you know, Hodoka or Hina and stuff, you know, sort of more cameos in the next movie, Makoto Shinkai. People will love it. You just do it like you did in this movie. It was pretty good. So anyways, guys, that's it for the spoiler section for Weathering With You. It's an honestly good movie, and to do the debate of, is it Your Name or Weathering With You? I don't know. I mean, comparing, I've seen like Your Name like three or more times, and I've only seen Weathering With You one time. But if I compare my first time experience with Your Name and Weathering With You, like, yeah, I cried in Your Name and I thought it was a really good movie, but I just feel really connected with this movie a lot more. And the cast was really good. The soundtrack is done by Radwimp, so it's always good. The art looks good and everything. And I'm just like, I think Weathering With You might be, I think I like it more than Your Name. That's just how it is for me, I think. Leave in the comments below what you think is better, but don't start a war, please. I just want to know, like, did you happen to like enjoy this movie more or this movie more? Don't just flame people if they like whatever movie more. They're still both pretty good films. I would rank them really high, like a 9 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10 on the same scale, but I just might enjoy this movie a lot more. So that's it for Weathering With You. Like the video if you enjoyed, and leave a comment below about what you thought about it. The movie, you know, don't spoil it. Leave like a spoiler tag if you talk about things and stuff like that. And that's about it. I'll see you guys on the next Makoto Shinkai movie, whatever that happens. And then maybe, just maybe, I'll have a certain Blu-ray to unbox in the future. So we'll leave it for that. Anyways, guys, I'll see you all later. Take care, guys. And apparently it's gonna rain tomorrow, so I'm gonna need this. Ah, fuck. Okay. Stay warm, guys, and when it's raining, keep your umbrellas. See you later.